Want to start the record? Okay. So happy Wednesday. Happy Team B call. Very excited to have Melissa Seguin, Senior Sales Coordinator Leader on our Team B. She is our special guest speaker tonight that's going to share some of her juicy stuff, her product story, business story. But most of all, what we want to hear from Melissa, and this is an idea that came up, is, we need to hear from the people that are in the trenches doing this business, and always remember where we started. And I've got a bunch of questions kind of in my head I've been kind of going through. Melissa, you might answer a lot of them as you share your story and as it unfolds. Because these calls I think are really special because it really gets to the heart of the reality of why we do what we do, but also the reality of it. It's not all rosy. We have bad days in our Juice Plus journey. And I think it's important for us to share some of the things that have challenged us, how we've grown from it, and how we've overcome it and become a stronger, better leader. So I'm sure that you will touch on some of that. And, what I can tell about Melissa is that I remember a year ago when we did our nutritional talk in front of a group. Wasn't that big, but it was big enough to freak out Melissa. I remember her saying, and I think she was taking like rescue remedy and homeopathic remedies to calm her nerves. And, she was just so, and when you look at Melissa, I'm like, this girl's got her stuff together. She's this, successful business owner. She's got all these modalities under her. And heck, man, why is she so darn nervous? And in the last year, to witness her going in front of an audience, very similar to a year ago, the transformation is night and day. I didn't see any rescue remedy coming out.
No.
Lots of laughs and giggles and almost excitement to be in front of the room. And when you see those types of transformation happening amongst our growing leaders as you move through the marketing plan, it's one of the most beautiful experiences you have as a leader, is to witness people with that type of growth. So it's a pleasure watching you grow. And I know that Melissa's got some pretty big goals from now until conference, I heard. And I'm sure she'll touch on that too. So without further ado, Melissa.
All right. Hey, guys. So I was kind of put on the spot today. I think I'm supposed to do this in a month. So I really am just going to chat from my heart and kind of tell you my story and hopefully inspire you guys. That's my main goal tonight. So I guess I started with the Juice Plus company I placed my first order for myself and 2 other people on June 2nd, 2015. And I was really hesitant about the business, if I'm honest, because I had a boyfriend when I was 20 who got involved in a network marketing company, and nothing about it resonated with me. And so I guess I should tell my product story first. I'll get into it. So anyways, his sponsor was a bit, in my mind, really just sleazy. He wasn't very good at sales, not that we have to be, but he didn't share from his heart, and it just all was bad. And I came home one day, I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was I came home one day and our bedroom was filled with vision boards. And I'm not talking vision boards like my vision boards of what he expected this business to do for him. And I don't think that it's bad if that's what you want, but I didn't want to live my life around trying to, buy yachts and mansions. And that's just not where I live. I live for, organic food and running shoes. So I was very hesitant and decided, I should check it out. So I attended Lori Kennedy's Wellness Business Summit in March of 2015. And prior to that had been contacted by Susan Baker, who I truly respected and was actually, funny story, one of my favorite teachers in nutrition school. However, I mean, and she taught me chemistry, which I hate chemistry, but somehow she ended up being my favorite teacher. But I still was just really hesitant about it. And she wasn't, too pushy or anything, which I liked. But when I went to the Wellness Business Summit, one of the things that resonated with me was that as an entrepreneur, we need to have multiple revenue streams. And I was like, okay, I got this. And actually the speaker there talked about USANA, which didn't resonate with me, but the whole network marketing aspect of it, I thought, I could be open to exploring it, especially if Susan Baker's involved, right? And that was really what got me, as they say, your reps don't necessarily buy in because of the product. They often buy in because of who you are and what you're doing. And so I trusted her. I trusted that she would give her children it. And if she did that, then I didn't really need to do any research on the product. If I'm honest, I didn't. I mean, I always ask questions, but I actually went and researched the business aspect of it and found, that the Juice Plus company is such a stable business. It's a 40-year-old company. It was like debt-free and privately held. So I knew if I was going to build a business with the Juice Plus company, that I at least would not be in 5 years, regretting that decision to do so. So I essentially, I just was like, I made a commitment to myself that when I joined the business, I would be heart-centered, I would be authentic, and that I would not do things that didn't feel good. And so that's what I did. And, for lack of better terms, I remember saying to Susan when I joined that I was like, okay, you know what, just let me ride with this. I'm going to actually sell the SHIT out of this. And I did that, and I got to VF in a week. And, it felt good. It felt good. It fit my philosophy as a nutritionist that we eat whole foods. And I think as a parent, it should fit our philosophy that we eat whole foods, right? Little did I know the effect that it would have on me. So one of the other reasons that I was looking for something is because Nicole mentioned I am a massage therapist, I'm a nutritionist, I'm also a classical homeopath. So I have a lot of tools in my tool belt. And for some reason that winter of 2014-15, I was sick in November, December, January, February, and March, once a month for about 10 days straight. And I didn't know what else to do with, I was eating well, I was using every sort of modality and tool I had in my tool belt, and I was still getting sick, to the point where I actually said to my husband, I was like, I think we need to sell our home because I think it just must be polluted with mold or something. Anyway, so little did I know the effect that Juice Plus would have on my own health. I just thought, as a nutritionist, I'm eating well. We can always use more fruits and vegetables, but man, it was a big surprise. So for me, I started in June, and the first time June of 2015, and the first time that I experienced any type of illness was actually last winter. So December 2016. So a full year and a half after starting, which is the first time I think in my life. And I've never been sickly. I always get a cold a couple times a year, and I get the flu, like the stomach flu. So that was the first time that I'd gone that whole year and a half without experiencing anything. And that sort of is my real Juice Plus story. I don't have a huge, I was really healthy beforehand, but it really did change the dynamic of the illness in our family, including my husband. And I have a 7-year-old and an almost 5-year-old. And at that time they were in daycare and school. So bringing germs in from all different places. And both of them never missed a day of daycare or a day of kindergarten that year, which is amazing considering, right? So, my oldest one tonight was just saying how he never gets sick, and that he just wants a day to stay home and watch TV. So I'll have to probably give him one of those. But I mean, the journey's not easy, right? And we all kind of go through ebbs and flows. So as I mentioned, I got to VF in a week, I got to SC in the 6 months, and I got to SSC in the year, which is awesome. And now I've kind of just sat here at SC, and I think that conference, I don't know if it was the last conference or the one before, that every time you go another level, you sort of beat another devil. And I think that that's what happens, because I feel like the the process of moving up our marketing plan really has to do with self-growth, right? And so that's been my journey, and I've just been working in the last, I don't know, year really hard on myself and just trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I ebb and flow. And I think, Susan always laughs at me. She's like, oh, this is an ebb or this is a flow. And I think what ends up happening is I get in my own head, right? And I'm sure that you guys do that to yourself. And so I've gone through that process of kind of getting in my head and coming out and being brave and then getting back in my head. And I think what I had to work on really was my network marketing story. So what's come of that is that because I was somewhat, scarred in my when I was 20 by the boyfriend who did network marketing and really alienated his entire family and his friends from himself, I didn't want to be that person. And I knew I wasn't doing that, but something was still telling me that, you can't talk to these people, or you can't do this, you can't do that. And what I've come to realize is I sure can, because I'm not selling them. I don't go into it with the hopes that they will buy Juice Plus. I go into it with the hopes that I can recommend something to them that could be the answer to what they're looking for. And if they choose to decide to order Juice Plus, awesome. And if they choose to decide not to order Juice Plus, that's okay too. Because every now and then you get the text like I got today, who, was from someone I prospected a year ago and was not ready for it and said, yay, I'm finally ready for Juice Plus, order it up for me, right? So you just never know those seeds that you're planting when you're going about your business, right? So through the months, I've kind of just gone on with my story and just, really done a lot of work on myself. And I think I got a little caught up in the fact that I am a nutritionist. And, I don't know. I had this idea that I didn't want to be known as a Juice Plus nutritionist. And I don't know why. I don't know. It's just my own story, the story that I was telling myself in my head. And finally, I just was like, you know what? What does it matter what people think? Here's the deal. And now, as you go on in your journey, you get more and more testimonials. And the thing is that the testimonials are always positive. And so the more I realize that, the more I realize I'm making more of a difference as a Juice Plus rep than I ever did as a nutritionist by myself, right? So I think it can be challenging for us nutritionists in a way to be able to wear the hat of being a Juice Plus rep and wear it proudly so that we can make that difference. So, what I really had to do in the last little while is just really anchor into my why. And if you guys haven't done that, I truly believe that you need to, because it changes a lot of things. And the tears might come because that's what I do. But I've just really had to anchor into that and, figuring out what it is that I want from this business and why I want it, right? So like I said, I have 2 young kids. And I guess when I go into why I do it, it's because of them, right? I just, as a mom, I never want to be in the position where I have to say no to them because of money. And I'm a very heart-centered person. In fact, I always think I just put everybody else sort of first and me last. And since I've been on this journey of, more self-love, it's amazing what that journey brings you. But one of the things I realized along the way is for me is that I had to get over my money story. So, and I'm sure some of you have it. When you were growing up, somehow your parents gave you that money story and you've lived by it, right? So I've had to work on that. But I've also had to work around the fact that I am a giving, heart-centered, spiritual person, and it's okay for me to make money. And what I've learned is that it's okay for us, and I assume we're all very similar in this business. You were drawn to Juice Plus for a reason, that we're all very similar in the fact that we're heart-centered and we want to make a difference, and it's okay for us to make money. And the reason I feel like it's okay for us to make money is because we're going to do good things with our money, right? So I used to feel like, well, the story I told myself was I'm spiritual and I'm a giver, and that's the kind of person I am. It's not okay for me to have money. And I think that changed when I became a mom, when I realized, hockey's expensive. Like, I have 2 kids and they're both in hockey. They're 5 and 7, and already our hockey bills are ridiculous. So I realized that at that point, like, I need to make some serious cash, and this is a way for me to do so. I also have a huge mission. So my personal mission is to impact the health of 10,000 families by 2020. And so I use my Juice Plus business as a way to do that. But I wouldn't be doing that if I hadn't anchored into why I do this. And, my little kids, when I look at them and I'm able to say yes and be around for them, that is like, that's the key, right? And so I've kind of played in this game of being a Juice Plus rep, and it was on September 10th, and I'll tell you this. It was on September 10th that I made the decision to go for the goals that Nicole was talking about, and it was that why am I wasting my time? Why am I playing in this? Why am I not going for the next goal? Why am I not doing it? And it was on September 10th. And we all know what the 10th is. The 10th is payday. And I got a Juice Plus paycheck. And it was actually one of my bigger paychecks that I've ever gotten. And guys, I took the summer off to be with my children. My children were home all summer with me, and I still managed to get a paycheck. And I cry because I just think that, what a gift. This is like such a gift for us to have. And I don't even think that we realize it. I mean, I didn't realize it. I thought, still living in that ego where I don't want to be a Juice Plus rep, like a nutritionist as a Juice Plus rep. And what I realized at that point was that, I got paid to stay home with my kids. Sure, I worked my business a little bit. I mean, I did events that were fun for me because as a mom staying home all summer, I needed to get out in the evening. So I did events that I kind of wanted to do. I did like bend and blend yoga. We did boot camp. We did like just really fun events where I could leave or go into my backyard even and have time with myself and some other ladies. And my business flourished because of it, right? I kept on top of my reps, but I just, like, Voxer's the most amazing thing. And so I did that. And but what I realized, it was the work that I put in beforehand that allowed me that opportunity. And so I thought to myself on September 10th, where I was just like, literally opened my bank account and started crying because I was like, oh my God, like that was my aha moment. And Melissa Hyde always says, there'll come a time where you just make a decision. And I think that was the point where I said, you know what? I have to do this. I have to do this for myself. I have to do this for my children. I have to do this because next summer I'll probably take the summer off again and I still need to get paid. But it was that moment where I just was like blown away by the fact that I could still get a paycheck and feel like I got to do everything that I wanted to with my children. I got to make the memories with them. I didn't send them to camp, although there were weeks where I really wanted to send them to camp, but I got to make those memories with them. I got to say, you know what, guys, we're going to go to Santa's Village today, or we're going to just take a trip up north and see your grandparents because we can. Right? And so what that did for me on the 10th was realize that I could do that, and that I really want that opportunity for other moms. I want those other moms to be able to say yes. And so I anchored even deeper into my why at that point, and it became about choices, right? It became about the ability to say, yes, I will do this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you can. I don't ever want my children to not be able to do something because of something like money. I just feel like the money aspect, I don't ever want them to not be able to do something because we couldn't afford to send them there. So I see this business as an opportunity for me to work really hard and to give them something. And as I mentioned before, I've always felt like from the time I was a little girl, so, some of you may know, but most of you probably don't, is that, I come from a family that's very, very different from me. I don't fit in at all. I love them dearly, but I don't fit in at all. But it was when I was a little girl, I felt that I really truly felt I was here to do something big. And so this mission, this 10,000 by 2020, I feel like is the first step in that bigness. And so I see my Juice Plus business as a way for my family to have choices, but also for a way for me to fulfill that legacy that I feel like I'm here to leave. And much of it is all about giving back. What do you want to be when you grow up? You know what? I want to be a philanthropist. I want to be able to give money to wherever my community needs it. So I am a co-founder of a women's group in Markham called 100 Women Who Care. And we're basically an organization that raises money for local charities. And it was at one of our check presentations recently where our check to the charity we were giving was $9,650. And the woman sitting on the couch was like, you know what, I'm just going to top that up. And right then and there, I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that without asking my husband if we're okay for me to top that up. Even if it was $3,500, I want to be able to top that up. And so it just lends into the bigger mission of giving back. And a lot of people don't know this about where I live because Markham's, on the outside is pretty affluent community, but a lot of our population lives below the poverty line. And so I still have it within my heart to want to build a breakfast program because, God forbid, children should have to go to school hungry, right? And so if I can work this business and make the kind of money that I need to support a program like that, I think that is like an amazing goal to have. And I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to put it out there to everyone that I am an SSE and I'm looking to hit NMD by Phoenix conference. And I have big plans in place and if I can do it, all you guys can do it. My goal is to be sort of the lighthouse to show my team as well as, others on Juice Plus, the Juice Plus team, that no matter what, you can get out of your own head and be able to make the kind of significant impact in your own family or outside of your family that any other of our leaders in Juice Plus are making. So that is my story. I can't hear you, Nicole.
Oh, I said it was on picture mode so you can see my tears.
Oh. Well, we knew that was going to happen, so it's all right.
Right? Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. It's so true about when you dig into your why. That shift happened for me too when I got the ultimatum of having to go back to work. I was a senior sales coordinator. I was kind of in the same mindset as you. And my aha moment was when my husband at the time, Arthur, just said, you're going to have to go back to work. And I was just putting my two kids on the school bus for the first time. And I remember walking down the lane and just bawling, visualizing myself having to go back to the city and going into a job and missing out on everything. And so when you tap into that why and it makes you cry, let me tell you, you will go to work. And that's exactly what I did too. I went SSC to NMD in less than a year. And it was the tears that fueled me to get there. Nobody was going to deter me from my goal. And just like you, Melissa, a decision was made. A decision was made, and it was so in my core. Nobody was shaking me. And I don't know how to explain it. It just is there. It's done. And I remember people telling me the same thing. You'll know when it's time. And it was time. So I can feel I can feel it. I can feel that the time has come. You've made the decision, and I'm so happy. Just like you said, you're going to inspire so many. So we've got about 4 minutes left. One of the questions I have for you, Melissa, and then we can open it up if we've got time, is there are a lot of our leaders that feel stuck in the business, just like you have maybe felt stuck before. What has been a shift for you, and what are the shift or the type of work that you've been doing in the last year on you to help you get to this place where you finally made the decision and feel confident enough in yourself, and the company and the products and the network marketing? What work have you done that has allowed you to get to this decision?
Well, I've been fortunate. I hired a coach, which was great, but I didn't hire her for my Juice Plus business. I hired her because I felt like, as I mentioned, I felt like I feel like I'm here to make a big impact in the world. And so I hired her, but I think honestly, what she's taught me is that, a few things. So slow down to speed up, take more time, take more downtime. And so what I find with me is that I can sit in front of my computer and spin my wheels and not get anything done. So I think one of the things that I do now is on a Sunday night, I'll look at my schedule and I plan my entire week so that I don't feel like, because I went through a stage where I felt like all I was trying to do was Juice Plus. And I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like this is supposed to be a business that allows us freedom. And so I wanted that. And so what I do now is on a Sunday, I just map out my entire week. I put in, when I'm meeting people, but I also put in when I'm going to work on what I'm going to work on and what I'm going to do in that time. I meditate every morning now, which is huge for me. It's changed the dynamic of my family. I'm almost at my 40 days of consistent everyday meditation. If anybody meditates or doesn't meditate, I highly suggest it, because it has, even my husband's noticed that it's just changed the dynamic of our family. And I've honestly, Nicole, I've really just focused on self-care and self-love, and just making sure that in every single day that I have, that there is a window for me. I get up at 5 a.m. From 5 to 6:30 is my time. If I know that the kids, if we have to be up earlier on a Saturday for hockey, I get up earlier. I get up at 4:30. I need that time because that is the time where I do my work. And, that's when the ideas come. And I think I just really I anchored into my team. Right? We're going every other week now, but for the longest time we did every week we did a Zoom call, and sometimes we'd have nothing planned. It was just a call to say, hey, how's it going? What's up? What do you need help with? Do you need help with anything? Oh, how's life? And it was like just really becoming good friends with the teammates that I have, so that I'm not their boss. I don't want to feel like their boss, but I want to help them reach their goals. So it was more for me, it was getting that community of my women around me, and just knowing that we have each other's backs.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. We're sharp at 9:30. Is there one pressing question that somebody on the call has tonight before we sign off? You can unmute yourself. Anybody?
I just wanted to say thank you. That was beautiful.
You're welcome. You can see behind me that I have the vision boards. I just made them, but you can see right on top there is my why. So be careful what you ask the universe for, because that is a picture. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a picture that my 7-year-old drew, and it says, "I love you, Mama." And I was really trying to channel the universe and say, listen, guy, like I need my why front and center every single day. And if I could, I would pick up my laptop and show you that the Sharpie he built that picture with is all over my desktop. So every time I sit down at my desk, I can see "I love you, Mama" on my desktop. So be careful what you wish for.
That's awesome.
Because now my why is front and center. It's right on my desk.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing from your heart. And I know you're going to get to your goal. And I know that the universe will deliver exactly what you want on the right time. So, and you will definitely shine for your team, for Canada and the world of Juice Plus, always looking to women that are making a difference in the community, and that's what you stand for. So thank you for your goals. Thank you for shining bright every day and being the best version of yourself. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, guys.
We'll say goodnight, everyone. Thank you again.
Good night. Thank you.
thank you very much.